Hi there, Gemini. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for November. The month begins with a big emphasis on the part of your scope that's all to do with life's nitty-gritty details. And of course, that's not very sexy, but if you can really grapple with this, it's a chance to make all the basic elements of your situation run that much more efficiently. However, it doesn't need to be a case of all work and no play. A brilliant angle between Venus, the planet of relating, and Uranus, the planet of surprises, suggests that there could be an arc of attraction between you and someone you encounter throughout the first week of November. There could be an introduction that comes through a friend, or you may get chatting to someone in the most mundane of locations. It could be at work, it could be at the fuel station, it may be at the supermarket. But if you do get chatting to someone, you may find that there's almost an instant rapport and quite a lot of flirty vibes too, which can be very nice to surf indeed. But at a more profound level, with the Sun and Mercury angling up to Pluto, the planet of change, from the 4th through to the 10th, if you are wanting to make some fundamental alterations to how your world does work, I think anything to do with who you bank with, what type of mortgage product you have, reducing your costs in a way which can be good for your long-term future, are all the type of things that you could transform in a very beneficial way. If you're lucky enough to be in a relationship that's working pretty well, a fairer division of domestic chores can certainly help, but also having some fun together and being a little bit more spontaneous whilst cracking on with those tasks that do need doing can also be a great way to get through things. But by the 7th there is a quarter moon. This quarter moon occurs in your sister air sign of Aquarius. And really what you're being encouraged to do over the following week is not try too hard to be virtuous. You need to get to it, but at the same time don't push yourself to such a frenzied level that you almost become caught up in trying to cram so much into that week that you end up feeling rather frazzled. So it is going to be important to prioritise. Now on the 9th, a very exciting event occurs because Mars moves into your sister sign of Aquarius too, where he's going to be for the following 6 weeks. This is really going to give you a sense of excitement, and a pioneering spirit is going to come through during that whole time. Don't be surprised if you travel or you shake up your existence to make it a little more varied. Spontaneity certainly appeals to many Geminis, and variety is the spice of life, and Mars is going to help you in this regard. Now it is true to say that Venus moves then as well. Now Venus moves into the dark and also rather mysterious area that Pluto's been occupying for the last 7 years. This can heat up the temperature when it comes to your romantic situation, and you may find that someone is having quite an impact on you. You may even find yourself fantasizing strongly about someone you've encountered in that first week. But there is also the move of Mercury on the 13th, Mercury being your ruler, and it moves into your opposite sign. This is a very positive change. If things have felt a little brittle between you and someone else, rather than focusing on the things that you have different about one another, Mercury moving into this area asks you to celebrate the things you have in common, to be a bit more laid back and detached, and also to develop your listening skills that much more. But the full moon at the heart of this month on the 14th certainly can stir up some issues of a more psychological nature. And if you have in any way been feeling a little bit underpowered, use all this energy to try to look at your health, fitness and dietary regime to see if you can make some significant changes. And even if you feel slightly out of sorts from a more emotional angle, don't dismiss it. You're an air sign, so you can have a tendency to work through your mind around your emotions. Of course Geminis have feelings, it's just you process things in a slightly different way. And this full moon is a great opportunity to embrace the more tender and more sensitive side of your nature. It can be very good for you. Once we get to week 3, however, there's a gorgeous link between Jupiter, which is in the most self-expressive part of your scope, and Venus. This is a delicious link, and although Venus has moved on and it's a disassociate angle, it's one that I do feel that can conjure up some magic when it comes to being attracted to someone you encounter. The Sun's move on the 22nd is also going to help your relationship prospects. It's just going to make you much more mindful of celebrating what can be gained through cooperation and collaboration. But from the 22nd to the 27th, Venus goes alongside Pluto. This is probably one of the most exciting, passionate, but also risky aspects that affects Pluto. It could see you drawn towards something or someone that has some kind of real mysterious and mesmeric attraction. It could be a big ticket item. It could be someone who's very, very sexual. But whether this item or this person would be really good for you is another matter. And if you do feel that you're drawn towards something that would see you going against your core values, think very carefully before getting too much involved. In a more positive way, it can help you to appreciate the depth of love and passion you have for someone already in your world. But the Sun does go into a new moon on the 29th, which ordinarily would be marvellous for you as far as relationships are concerned. But this gets into a muddle with Neptune, the planet of dreams, which is in your sector of worldly relating. When it comes to professional ties, I do feel that you need to be cautious about how people view your motives. Try to be as straightforward as possible if you are encountering anyone of a senior authoritative nature. The more straightforward you are, the more you're going to build your credibility. But you're going to have to work at it a little bit because there is a bit of a murky atmosphere as this month comes to a close. But you can see there's loads of opportunities for transforming the basics in your world, but at the same time having some fun. And as far as relationships are concerned, there's lots of talking to do, but lots of feeling as well. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Gemini. Thank you for joining me. Good luck. And goodbye for now.